ওকে
পারমিশনটা
ওকে
করে দাও।
ঠিক আছে হয়ে গেছে। হ্যাঁ, ওটা শুরু করে দেন। লাইভে গিয়েছে? প্রিপেয়ারিং।
Is Faisal bhai there?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Just wanted to know if you're there.
Faisal bhai, backup হিসেবে প্রেজেন্টেশনটা স্ট্যান্ড বাই রাখবেন।
It is there already.
স্যার আসসালামু আলাইকুম। স্যার ভালো আছেন? আসসালামু আলাইকুম রীতি ম্যাম, থ্যাংক ইউ আপনাকে জয়েন করার জন্য। মিস্টার রিডলস, মিস রীতি আহসান is one of our advisor, and Ms. Riti Ibrahim, our Riddles, is our trainer from NFPA. Today he will train us for our awareness purpose, the name and all the things already you know that. So Mr. Riddles, you just can you hear me, Riddles?
Yes, I hear you clearly.
Okay.
Welcome. Thank you, Mr. Rati, Mrs. Rati.
I can see another guy, Mr. Kokabuddin Ahmed. He is another director of Safety Awareness Foundation. Welcome. I think আমাদের live processing already done. আপনি শুরু করতে পারেন। Tasmiha.
Mr. Zakir, please give me the recording access.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum.
জাকির, আমাদের শ্রদ্ধেয় স্পেশাল গেস্টের পরিচয় করে দিও একটু, তারপরে। You are muted.
Oh, sorry. জি sir. Okay. ঢুকতেছেন? স্যার জাস্ট আসতেছেন।
মোবাশির ভাই তো আসছেন আমাদের প্রেসিডেন্ট সাহেব।
জি। লাইভ তো
আমাদের যারা আছেন আর কি, যারা
হচ্ছে তো। ও আচ্ছা। এখানে কিছু দিতে হবে। তারপরে
It's on live on Facebook. So it's already done.
ওকে, আমাদের ম্যাক্সিমাম পার্টিসিপেন্টস চলে এসেছে। আমাদের অনারেবল ডিজি মহোদয়, ডিজি ফায়ার সার্ভিস সিভিল ডিফেন্স ঢুকছেন, এখনই মাত্র কথা হয়েছে। আমরা যদি পারমিশন চাচ্ছি আলী স্যারের কাছে, আমরা কি স্যার শুরু করব?
আমি বলি আমরা কিন্তু বেশি সময় থাকতে পারবো না, আমি ম্যাক্সিমাম হাফ অ্যান আওয়ার থাকতে পারবো। So you better start. Whoever wants to join can join anytime.
Thank you, madam.
Okay. Tasmiha.
Yes.
আচ্ছা, সবাইকে
Start,
একটু
Bismillah
রিকোয়েস্ট
ar-Rahman
করছি
ar-Rahim,
শুরু
start
করার
করো,
আগে, আমরা অলরেডি ফেসবুক লাইভে মাত্র চলে গিয়েছি। আমি একটু রিকোয়েস্ট করছি, আমি চ্যাট বক্সে আমাদের লাইভ যে হচ্ছে সেটার লিঙ্কটা শেয়ার করছি। সবাই একটু যদি সবার ফেসবুকে আমাদের লিঙ্কটা দিয়ে দেন তাহলে অনেক মানুষ দেখতে পাবে এবং সবাই উপকৃত হবে। ধন্যবাদ সবাইকে। তাসমিহা শুরু করতে পারেন।
Reconnect.
Yes, study.
Not because other participants are waiting.
This presentation to you.
Zakir Bhai is again connected. He's here.
হ্যাঁ, শুরু করেন।
আগে তোমার মিউট করা।
জি, শুরু করেন তাসমিহা।
With the political, voluntary, and charitable organization to assist authorities having jurisdiction in Bangladesh. This organization is oriented to specialize on the following core objectives. For example, we are focusing on life safety, fire safety, road safety, and environmental safety. Now we will have some visual interpretation of some recent incidents that took place in Bangladesh. Very recently, there has been a launch accident where more than 50 people died in Narayanganj, and this incident indicates questions about life safety at river. There has been a road accident at Rajshahi, and this incident indicates questions about life safety at road. There has questions about the firefighting and emergency response preparedness. There has at Ghazipur, which indicates questions about occupational and process safety management system. And most of us are aware about the fire basin, but it was totally packed with general public and with news reporters. Some reporters were even standing on the responsibility of an individual in any incident management system, including crowd management. So after all this, now we will have a look and at the SAF executive committee members. We will get to know them. Safety Awareness Foundation executive members are well-known figures for their role, responsibility, and iconic contribution for the community. And hence, all of them are united under this logo, SAF logo, with a new commitment to perform further welfare activities to achieve sustainable goals towards safety of life, property, and environment of Bangladesh. Now it's time to get introduced to the president, who is none other than Brigadier General Engineer Ali Ahmed Khan. He's the president of Safety Awareness Foundation. Brigadier General Ali Ahmed Khan, PSC, he is a veteran military professional who had 39 years of experience with huge contribution in construction, development works, and emergency management, both at national and international level. He's the former Director General, Fire Chief of Bangladesh Fire Service and Civil Defense. He's the former Chief Engineer at Military Engineering Services. He's the former First Engineer at Fire Marshal UN Mission at Sudan. He's the former Director at International Fire Chiefs Association in Japan. He is currently acting as Fire and Safety Advisor to Honorable Mayor of Dhaka North City Corporation. He's also acting as Safety and Fire Risk Management Consultant in different platforms. Now it's time to know about the Vice President of SAF, Mr. Major Khandokar Nurul Afsar. He is the Vice President of SAF. Major Khandokar Nurul Afsar is a noteworthy leader and has gloriously served in Bangladesh Army for 13 years. He is the former president of RAWA, Retired Army Officers Welfare Association, and Mohakhali DOHS Council. He is currently one of the board of directors of Exim Bank and also acting as chairman and managing director of Afsar Group of Bangladesh. He is also acting as the chairman of Anwar Manaf Foundation, which has been promoting female education in Bangladesh. Now let's meet our other vice president, and he is Mr. Mehdi Ali. Mr. Mehdi Ali is an distinguished entrepreneur known for his contribution in the cotton sector of Bangladesh. He has been leading as a key player for organizing Global Cotton Summit, which has become now a brand name in the cotton industry for the globe. He is the former president of Bangladesh Cotton Association, that is BCA. He is currently the current acting president of Amader, which is a charity organization. And he is also acting as the director of the Federation of Bangladesh Chambers of Commerce and Industry, that is FBCCI. After knowing about the president and the vice president, we'll get to know about the directors of SAF. One of our directors is Dr. Muhammad Abdul Rashid. Dr. Abdul Rashid is a distinguished medical personnel with significant experience working in this concerned field since 1970s. He is the former director of Kidney Foundation Hospital and Research Institute for almost a decade. He is a former director under the Ministry of Health, runs under the government of the People's Republic of Bangladesh. Our another director, Ms. Nazia Zabin. She is the first person to have published books on focusing on entertainment and culture. She has published books for the visually impaired of Porsche Braille Foundation. She is also advisor of Chayani, the only daycare center of the University of Dhaka. She is also the vice president of NNF school, for which actually works for the disadvantaged children in Dhamrai. She is a writer. She is a children's book author. She is a life member at Bangla Academy and also a motivational speaker. She is former national handball team player and also a former television and radio anchor. Our another director, Major A.K.M. Shakil Nawaz. Major A.K.M. Shakil Nawaz is accredited as a special fire safety professional with having completed numerous international and local firefighting courses. Major Service and Civil Defense. Diligently as the Director, Operation and Maintenance over 6 years. He is the former Director, Operation and Maintenance at Bangladesh Fire Service and Civil Defense. He has served the Bangladesh Army with honor and dignity for more than 20 years. Additionally, with his extensive knowledge and vast field experience, he has acted as an adjunct faculty in the Dhaka University and BRAC University. Now let's get introduced to our very popular Secretary General, who is Mr. Zakir Uddin Ahmed. Mr. Zakir Uddin Ahmed is a young, focused, and progressive entrepreneur possessing good analytical and leadership skill. He is the CEO of ZM International. He is a member of FBCCI. He is one of the directors of ISAB, that is Electronic Safety and Security Association of Bangladesh. He participated as a business delegate in the 74th session of the UN General Assembly with the Honorable Prime Minister of the People's Republic of Bangladesh. Mr. Kakab Uddin Ahmed, he is also one of the directors of Safety Awareness Foundation. He is accredited as a successful environment, health, and safety professional with having completed numerous local and international training courses. He is a former general manager, HR compliance and administration in different institutions, and his work experience is for a period over 20 years. He's a distinguished individual. He He is providing industrial environment, health and safety related training in different platforms. Mr. Faisal Ahmed, he is one of the directors of SAF. Mr. Faisal Ahmed is a safety, fire and emergency response specialist. He is an experienced individual possessing significant achievement throughout the career in management system of occupational safety, fire and emergency response. He has worked for more than 20 years at heavy industrial area in Saudi Arabia. He holds various certified competencies such as TTT, EOC, etc. Mr. Faisal has also been providing fire safety and emergency response training and consultancy in various platforms. Mr. Ariful Hassan is acting as the treasurer of Safety Awareness Foundation. Mr. Ariful Hassan is a noteworthy professional who has been certified by Red Hat, Cisco, Microtik, and CISA. He has more than 15 years of experience in private and public sector IT industries. He is currently acting as the chairman of IT Valley, Bangladesh. Now the next, that is myself, Tasmia Nuhi Ahmed. I'm also one of the directors of SAF, and most importantly, I'm a practicing lawyer, and I'm an enrolled advocate of Bangladesh High Court Division of Bangladesh Supreme Court. I'm also serving in FM Associates, an international law firm, as its junior partner, and I'm also acting as editor in charge of Bangladesh's first only women-led English daily, that is Daily Our Time. I've been advocating on women rights issues and environmental issues all through my career. Thank you. Now let's look into some guiding references that SAF is bound to follow. For example, we will be following the guidelines of Bangladesh Service and Civil Defense, OSHA, FEMSA, UL, Bangladesh Energy Regulatory Commission, NFPA, Fire Apparatus Manufacturers Association, FM, BNBC, ANSI, FEMA, Bangladesh Environment Court Act 2010, Bangladesh Labor Act 2006, Bishphorok Odhidoptor, that is Department of Explosives, and Bangladesh Road Transport Authority. Now let's know about the advisory members of SAF. The advisory members of SAF are all distinguished personalities, activists, and all of them are well known for their outstanding contributions in their respective fields. So would assist us in achieving our ultimate goal. Now, our senior advisor, Ms. Riti Ibrahim Ahsan. She's a senior advisor to SAF. She's a strong, dedicated professional advocating for improvements in the present statistical system of Bangladesh. She's a former secretary. She's a former secretary of Statistics and Informatics Division under the Ministry of Planning, run by the government of the People's Republic of Bangladesh. She is currently the Vice President of Bangladesh Mohila Samiti. She's the former director of Bangladesh Tourism Corporation. She is a prominent social activist working on statistical reforms, violence against women, gender inequality, and environmental issues. Architect Iqbal Habib. He is also an advisor to SAF. Mr. Iqbal Habib is a practicing architect and an environmental activist. He is the co-founder of the architectural design atelier Bhitti Sthapati Brindo Limited. His practice is for a period over 2 decades with a vision to promote responsible architecture for the society and environment in Dhaka, Bangladesh. He is a member of the executive board of Bangladesh. He is the vice chairman of Bangladesh. He is a member of Bangladesh Urban Forum. He is a member of Board of Trustees and advisor to Architect Department of Bangladesh University. He is a director and consultant of Academy Complex, Matra Foundation, Bangladesh. He is the joint secretary and co-convener of Urbanization and Government Committee, Bangladesh Environment Movement, BAPA. Mr. Pranab Saha. He is an advisor to SAF. He is a renowned professional journalist serving in this relevant field for more than 32 years. He's the former editor at Daily Akhbar. He is the former chief news editor at Ekushe Television and former news reporter of Bhorer Kagoj. He is the former city editor, special edit report Daily Prothom Alo. He is currently acting as the editor of DBC News. He is also the Joint Secretary of Media Initiative for Public Policy, that is MIPP. He is also acting as a member of National Press Club, Dhaka Reporters Unity, Bangladesh Parliament Journalists Association. Now, after knowing the advisory members, we would like to know about the trainer of Life Safety Code NFPA, and he is Mr. Radolf Miaskozere. He is a keynote speaker today for today's event, and he's a member of IPAS, EXI, IADC, OSHA Academy, and ARC. He's certified instructor of NFPA, RIG Pass, Six Sigma. He has experience of more than 30 years in health, safety, and environment. He has successfully completed many technical and intellectual projects through his consultancy, and his teaching changed many thousands to return as a professional to lead the Department of Environment, Health, Safety, and Fire. He took efforts when assigned to reform and develop the High Commission for Industrial Security, referred to as HCIS codes, is the national regulatory agency for security, safety, and fire protection requirements at industrial facilities and designated critical infrastructure in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Now, I'd like to request our Honorable President of Safety Awareness Foundation, Brigadier General Engineer Ali Ahmed Khan, to give us his valuable speech.
Before starting his speech, I would like to inform everyone
Am I audible?
our special guest already present with our webinar. Welcome, Architect Mubashir Hussain, President AIAB, and welcome Brigadier General MD Sajjad Hussain, Director General, Bangladesh Fire Service and Civil Defense. Thank you.
Shakil Saraswati.
So Mufassar sir, Hasan sir, just say hello sir.
Yeah,
Moderator, should I start with my introductory speech or welcome speech? Or?
Please, sir, please. 5 times the direction. Here with the phone.
All mute the file. Ali sir के अपन दीजिए चाहिए.
Hello. Should I start? Yeah.
Please, sir, please.
Just, I think on behalf of Safety Awareness Foundation, I welcome all our special guests, our dear participants, the Board of Directors of SAF, advisors, all the consultants, and ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and very good evening. First of all, we like to thank to Almighty Allah that COVID situation, still we are a homage to those departed souls. So I welcome our chief guest, Mubashir sir, and also with the permission for our special guest, I'd like to have my the welcome speech from SAF Internationals, Bangladesh. Particularly, so as you know that just 1 minute here. Am I audible? So I welcome on is already summarized through the purpose and the core is also we have given in the presentation here. As we know that Bangladesh is a densely populated country here, and as you know that because of the also geographical location, Bangladesh is a very vulnerable country because of disasters, and it's the massive urbanizations and also the massive industrializations coming up, and all the places economic activities going on. Unplanned urbanization and industrialization, unplanned industrialization is also causing huge challenges in safety of the human lives and property and environment. So unregulated construction of the building, not following the proper codes, construction of developments, non-compliance building is coming up, and also the lack of capacity development of regulatory bodies. At the same time, we have seen in urban areas the use of electricities and also the LPG gas, CNGs, innovation of CNVs, electromechanical equipments, also risking our life and many folds. Above all that, we have seen the transportation, well, in the waterway, roadway, and also the railway. All the places we found the accident is taking place and we are losing the valuable lives. And with this backdrop, I think a few professionals with the various sectors, particularly maybe from the professional, for engineers, fire professionals, architects, and the town planners, also few consultants, and some expert bureaucrats, and also other professional person came forward to formulate a participants and also distinguished guests and a special guest to launch our, I think, this SAF forum, Safety Awareness Forum. We wish that you pray for us and so that we can be successful in our journey. So with this, I hand over to the moderator. Tasmia, please. Tasmia, over to you.
No. So now I'd like to request our Honorable Advisor of Safety Awareness Foundation, Mr. Iqbal Habib, to deliver his valuable speech.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome everyone. First of all, I thank Almighty Subhanahu wa Ta'ala to give us an opportunity to be alive at this very critical period of time. I also like to be very grateful to all the participants here that at last we really could make a platform to make sure that we are responsible for ourselves. Dependency on government and dependency on someone else as authority was always giving this country into the vulnerability. And I believe knowing that this is one of the fastest growing economy in the world nowadays, and the kind of migration and also urbanization, this is astonishingly fast rate and also very highly densely populated urban context. In Dhaka, in most places, it is almost 47,000 per square kilometer is the population. And always this brings down to the point that we are vulnerable in all respects. I think our forum has the major responsibility to make all of our development into sustainable development. And to understand what is sustainability, it's equity, economics, and environment. And I believe to achieve those three, we need to make sure the inclusiveness of everyone into the platform is the primary goal. And I believe because there is only few organizations, especially fire service and civil defense, who are taking the sole flagship to make the whole country aware regarding the safety issues. I think it is our responsibility now to coordinate and make an effort that all together we can make ourselves safe, aware, and also non-vulnerable. I think awareness is such a wonderful thing that people can believe that it is us who are the change makers to make a better, beautiful for tomorrow. I think from that perspective, this journey has to have a bigger goal, bigger responsibility. And I'm pretty sure, knowing that our motto and commitment is to make ourselves for a better future, today's presentation will be a good beginning. But this is not the end. This is just the tip of the iceberg we are going to put forward. And I believe with everybody's effort, we will be reaching that goal and that point of time when we can step back and understand where we have turned around and make ourselves responsible and responsive. Thank you very much. I welcome you all again and wishing all the very best.
Thank you, Mr. Iqbal Habib, for your short but very informative speech. I hope everyone enjoyed and learned from your speech. Now I'd like to request our honorable special guest, Architect Mubashir Hussain, the President of Institute of Architects Bangladesh, to deliver his speech.
Dhanyabad. I prefer to speak in Bengali because I'm a bit poor in English, and I think everybody will understand. প্রথমেই সবাইকে শুভ সন্ধ্যা জানাচ্ছি। আমি এই একটি প্রতিষ্ঠান যে আপনারা তৈরি করছেন ফাউন্ডেশনটি, তার জন্য আপনাদেরকে সত্যিকার অর্থেই ধন্যবাদ জানাই। আমি ছোট্ট কয়েকটি পয়েন্টস আপনাদেরকে দেব যে এই ফাউন্ডেশনের পক্ষ থেকে সেই জিনিসগুলি দেখা একান্ত প্রয়োজন। ইকবাল হাবিব সুন্দরভাবে বলেছে যে সারা বাংলাদেশের এই দুর্যোগকালীন ব্যবস্থাপনায় সবচেয়ে বেশি সম্পূর্ণভাবে জড়িত থাকে ফায়ার ব্রিগেড এবং ফায়ার ব্রিগেডের সাথে অন্য দু একটি প্রতিষ্ঠান। কিন্তু আপনারা সবাই কি জানেন যে ফায়ার ব্রিগেডটি স্বরাষ্ট্র মন্ত্রণালয়ের আন্ডারে এবং স্বরাষ্ট্র মন্ত্রণালয়ের আন্ডারে পুলিশ, বিডিআর, তারপরে আপনার কি বলে র্যাব সবকিছু রয়েছে। সেখানে ফায়ার ব্রিগেডের অবস্থানটি কোন পর্যায়ে থাকতে পারে আপনারা নিজেরাই পর্যালোচনা করে দেখতে পারেন। এবং এই প্রতিষ্ঠানটি গত 10 বছর ধরে আমরা চেষ্টা করে আসছি এই প্রতিষ্ঠানটিকে যেন ডিজাস্টার মিনিস্ট্রিতে নিয়ে যাওয়া হয়। যদি ডিজাস্টার মন্ত্রণালয়ের অধীনে নিয়ে যাওয়া যায় তাহলে এই প্রতিষ্ঠানটিকে অনেক অনেক বেশি উপরের দিকে নিয়ে যাওয়া সম্ভব। এই ব্যাপারে এই ফাউন্ডেশনের একটি কাজ অবশ্যই করণীয় বলে মনে করি। এরপরে আসা যাক যে দেখেন বাংলাদেশের কথা আমি যদি চিন্তা করি, আমি ঢাকাকে নিয়েই যদি চিন্তা করি, ঢাকায় অজস্র দালান কোঠা রয়েছে। ফায়ার ব্রিগেড, যে মানুষগুলি ফায়ার ব্রিগেডে দায়িত্বে থাকেন, ঢাকা শহরে যদি একটি নেপালের সমপর্যায়ের একটি ভূমিকম্প হয় এবং যেটি হওয়ার সম্ভাবনা, সেটি হচ্ছে ঢাকা শহরের দালান কোঠাগুলি ভেঙে পড়বে, বিদ্যুৎ তার স্পার্ক হবে, এবং সবচেয়ে মারাত্মক যে ঘটনাটি ঘটবে সেটিকে আপনাদের আগে চিন্তায় নিয়ে আসতে হবে। সেটি হচ্ছে ঢাকা শহর মাকড়সার জালের মতন তিতাস গ্যাসের লাইনে ভর্তি, এবং তাদের কাছে কোনো নকশাও নাই। এই তিতাস গ্যাসের লাইনগুলি বাস্ট হবে, ইলেকট্রিক স্পার্ক হবে, ঢাকা শহর একটি অগ্নিকুণ্ডে পরিণত হবে। মানুষ বিল্ডিং চাপা নিয়ে আপনি কতক্ষণ থাকতে পারবেন সেটি আপনাকে বিবেচনায় নিয়ে আসতে হবে। অর্থাৎ এই ফাউন্ডেশনের আরেকটি প্রচন্ড শক্তিশালী কাজ হবে এই গ্যাস লাইনগুলিকে অটো সেন্সার লাগানো। এটির সিদ্ধান্ত নেওয়া হয়েছিল, আলী আহমদ জানেন যে আমরা এটিকে নিয়ে প্রচুর আলোচনা করেছি। ঢাকা শহরের বিভিন্ন জায়গায় অটো সেন্সার লাগানো, একটি মাত্রার বাহিরে কম্পন হলে পারে যাতে গ্যাস লাইনগুলি জরুরি ভিত্তিতে বন্ধ হয়ে যায়। কিন্তু আজকে 4-5 বছরেও এটির কোনো উন্নয়ন দেখি নাই। এখন আসা যাক সবচেয়ে দুঃখজনক ঘটনাটি, আমরা চিৎকার করাতে কিছুটা হয়েছে। এই যে ফায়ার ব্রিগেডের মানুষগুলি তাদের জীবন দিয়ে জনগণকে বাঁচানোর প্রচেষ্টা প্রতিনিয়ত করছে, বাংলাদেশের সরকারের অন্য কোন প্রতিষ্ঠান এত দূর জনগণের সেবায় নিয়োজিত আমার জানা নাই। কিন্তু এই ধরনের আর্থকোয়েকে তার পরিবার পরিজন যদি যে ভবনে থাকে সেই ভবনটি ভেঙে পড়ে, তাহলে এই ব্যক্তিবর্গ তাদেরকে কিভাবে সহযোগিতা করবে, জনগণকে কিভাবে সহযোগিতা করবে তার নিজের পরিবারকে রক্ষা যদি না করতে পারে। শুধু তাই না, ফায়ার ব্রিগেডের যেসব বিল্ডিং গুলি রয়েছে, যেখানে ফায়ার সার্ভিসের গাড়িগুলি রয়েছে, সেগুলিকে এখন রেট্রোফিটিং করার চিন্তা ভাবনা করা হচ্ছে, কারণ সেগুলি যখন তৈরি করা হয়েছে এই ভূমিকম্পর কথা চিন্তা ভাবনা করা হয় নাই। এই জিনিসগুলিকে আপনাদের সবার সামনে উন্মোচিত করতে হবে, এই জিনিসগুলিকে সবার কাছে পৌঁছে দিতে হবে। এখন আসা যাক ঢাকা শহরে যতগুলি অগ্নি নির্বাপনের ব্যবস্থাপনায় ফেল হয়েছে এবং সাকসেসফুলি হওয়া কষ্টকর হয়েছে, তার একটি মাত্র কারণ হচ্ছে পানি। আপনি চিন্তা করেন যে মতিঝিল কি বলে কারওয়ান বাজারে যখন আগুন লাগলো এনটিভি ভবনে, তখন ফায়ার ব্রিগেডকে পানি আনতে হয়েছে সোনারগাঁ সুইমিং পুল থেকে। অর্থাৎ পৃথিবীর ভিতরে একটি মাত্র রাজধানী যার চারপাশে 5টা নদী রয়েছে। আমি আবারও বলছি, পৃথিবীর কোন রাজধানীর চারপাশে 5টা নদী নাই। এই 5টা নদী থাকার পরেও আমাদের কেন ওয়াটার হাইড্রেন্ট নাই, এটির উত্তর কে দেবে আপনাদেরকে? সেটির জন্য এই ওয়াটার হাইড্রেন্টের ব্যবস্থা করতে পারি, তাহলে আমরা ছোট ছোট নিবানোর ব্যবস্থা করতে পারবো। তাহলে এই জিনিসগুলি আপনাদের জানতে হবে, এবং এই জিনিসগুলির জন্য এই ফাউন্ডেশনকে যুদ্ধ করতে হবে, মানুষকে বোঝাতে হবে। খালি পিচ ঢালা রাস্তা করলে হবে না, রাস্তার নিচে যে আগ্নেয়গিরি রয়ে গেছে সেটির ব্যাপারেও আপনাদেরকে ব্যবস্থা নিতে হবে, ব্যবস্থার জন্য চিৎকার করতে হবে। ফায়ার ব্রিগেডের
স্যার আপনার
করতে হবে যে আর্থকোয়েক হলে পারে, প্রচন্ড ভূমিকম্প হলে পারে, যেটির সম্ভাবনা ঢাকা শহরে মারাত্মক ভাবে রয়েছে। কোন জায়গায় মানুষ যে আশ্রয় নিবে, কোন জায়গায় মানুষ খাবার পানি পাবে, কোন জায়গায় মানুষ প্রতিনিয়ত নির্ধারিত সময় পর্যন্ত থাকতে পারবে। আপনারা নিশ্চয়ই জানেন যে বাংলাদেশের সর্ববৃহৎ 2টি হসপিটাল, মেডিকেল কলেজ হসপিটাল এবং সলিমুল্লাহ হসপিটাল, বাংলাদেশে ভূমিকম্প হলে সবার আগে এই 2টি ভবন ভেঙে পড়বে। তাহলে চিকিৎসার জন্য মানুষকে কোথায় নিয়ে যাবেন? এই জিনিসগুলি নিয়ে আপনাদেরকে চিন্তা করতে হবে, আরো আলাপ আলোচনায় সম্পৃক্ত হতে হবে। এই যদি আমরা করতে পারি ভাবে ব্যবহার করতে পারবো। আপনাদের সবাইকে ধন্যবাদ আমাকে উপস্থিত থাকার জন্য, সুযোগ দেওয়ার জন্য। ধন্যবাদ।
ধন্যবাদ স্যার আপনাকে। আমি আপনাদের প্রত্যেকটা স্যার কথা আমরা নোট করেছি এবং আমাদের এই অ্যাসোসিয়েশন আমাদের যে ফাউন্ডেশন, এই ফাউন্ডেশনের মধ্যে প্রত্যেকটা কাজ নিয়ে আমরা প্রত্যেকটা স্টেক হোল্ডারদের সাথে ইনশাআল্লাহ কথা বলবো। মিস তাসমিহা।
Host needs to. Yeah.
Next, please.
Now I'd like to request our honorable special guest, Brigadier General Mohammad Sajjad Hussain, NDC, AFWC, PSC, MPhil, the Director General of Bangladesh Service, Fire Service, and Civil Defense, to deliver his valuable speech.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Respected chief guest, other distinguished guests and participants, respected president of Safety Awareness Foundation, Assalamu alaikum and very good evening. At the very outset, let me congratulate you all for a time demanding effort to build a platform like Safety Awareness Foundation. You know, Bangladesh is geographically in a location, it is facing on and often different kind of disaster. But you know, as the disaster has got two parts, one is man-made disaster and another is natural disaster. Natural disaster, we do not have anything to do with the natural disaster. Rather, we have to prepare to face the natural disaster to reduce our casualties and the losses. But the man-made disaster, if you look at the man-made disaster, and if you have marked the Tasmiya Nuhiya's presentation at the very beginning, you will find most of the disaster actually taken place for the recklessness of the people. At this point of time, I must say that basically the awareness in our people is very less regarding the disaster. We do not actually want to actually abide by the rules and regulation what is actually there in the country. Most of the cases we feel alerted once we break any rules and regulation. So it is the time, actually it is the time of call that now time has come, as the architect Iqbal Habib has said that in Dhaka city, in 1 kilometer, 1 square kilometer area, we are living more than 47,000 people. So you can actually feel the density of the people and the other activities. If there is any activities, there will be heat and other associated activities. And the fire, I think, you know that I know most of the people, those who are here, all of are the learned people. And I don't need to actually remind that why the fire takes place. There are three reasons, three ingredients for fire. One is oxygen, one is heat, another is the fuel, the materials or fuel. So if there is any work, there will be heat and the fuel is available in our surroundings. So we need to be very much careful. We need to be very, very careful, as the architect Mubashir sir has already said, that if you have marked that in Bangladesh, especially in Dhaka city, Dhaka city is actually on the bomb. You know that the gas, if mixes with the air, it is if the natural gases contain 5 to 7%, 5 to 15% methane, and it get mixed with the air, it becomes a low bomb. So it is not unlikely that in any occurrence of gas leakage, anytime this bomb will come up. If you have marked that just 2-3 days back, there had been an explosion in the Narayanganj area, and today the victim, one of the victims has died. So if we do not become careful regarding this, we will have to face these consequences time and again. So I believe the new platform that has come up, SAF, the Safety Awareness Foundation, will play a vital role to aware the people regarding the safety issues, and be it in the road, be it in the waterways, or be it in the constructions. And you know more than me that how we construct the buildings in our country. We seldom actually abide by the rules and regulation of BNBC and other rules that we are supposed to follow. we do not actually follow any of the rules that has been actually black and white written in the papers or there. We just actually take the permission and we do something else. So, however, I am hopeful and I am sanguine that this Safety Awareness Foundation will play a very vital role in future to aware the people and actually to inculcate the awareness in the mind of the people. This Safety Awareness Foundation will play their role and bring the people in the same platform that we'll have to do anything and everything, actually abiding by all the rules and regulations, not for actually abiding by the rules and regulation, what is written in the paper, but for the safety of ourselves, for our people, for myself and for my family members and my neighbors and others. So thank you so much. And I'm wishing you a very smooth sailing in future and hope to see you, inshallah, in future days and working side by side, inshallah, with you. And I can tell you one thing, then fire service and civil defense always they are 24/7 to help the people. Whatever the asset we have, we try to utilize it in our optimum utilization to make the people safe and to rescue their goods and properties from any disaster. Thank you so much for inviting me. And I'm very much elated to see the very common and very distinguished guest faces in the Zoom. And though most of are not known to me, but very few of them, those who are renowned in the country, I know them. And that's why I'm feeling very good. And I'm also hopeful that this journey that has started today, it will go a long way. Thank you so much once again. And thank you all the guests and participants, those who are actually participating in this webinar. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
I
much,
have
sir,
finished.
for your valuable and most motivational speech, I would say. Now, I would like to request Mr. Radolf to kindly start his presentation on Life Safety Code NFPA 101. Mr. Radolf.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the good introduction.
You have to share your presentation on the
Yes,
screen,
I'm
please.
coming now. Yes,
Okay.
I'm coming. Okay, everybody can see. Can everybody see the screen, full screen? Everybody can see the screen? Okay. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Here you can see a few of the presentations, organizations that I belong to and that I have worked for, like PADI for rescue diving, especially in the sea, rescue for air, land, water, and medical specialists, mine rescue, proto team, there's a whole variety. Now, I just want to show you for the introductory to NFPA 101, what is the most important thing that we need to think of? We need to think about what all the participants said, what all the Brigadier General said, and all the people from the special guest. That is most important, that we need to mitigate the emergency we need to mitigate the disaster as much as possible. You don't want everybody to be involved with everything. There's a lot of organization. There's the Incident Command System organization called the NIMS. There's a lot of courses from NIMS. Now, let's look at the basics of NFPA. The NFPA is the National Fire Protection Association of United States. What is the role? The role of NFPA is to support, to advise, and to give guidance to different countries worldwide related to anything related to safety. It is either electrical safety, it can be rescue, it can be carbon dioxide, it can be portable fire extinguisher, it can be waterman system, it can be the life safety code that we are going to discuss today. There is a lot of standards that you can use. Now, let's look. What is the purpose? Why did NFPA sit with a committee like what you guys have established, a SAF committee? And I am grateful to see the initiative from countries like Bangladesh to take the initiative and to start with this intervention. It is great to see that happen. What is the purpose of the life safety? Is to guide and design construction and future destruction to protect occupational from the effects of fire. That is what it is. While protecting from fire, it is focused also on the danger of any emergency that can arise. You said earlier, gas leaks, natural disasters, oil leaks, oil explosion, gas explosions. And the purpose is to provide safe evacuation from the dangerous area or shelter in place. Shelter in place is the area where you are like an explosion-proof building, like a control room. If there's an explosion, God forbid, in the facilities, and it is catastrophic, then the people inside the control room, that is the critical activities, they are safe. Let's look at applications. Why did the code apply in new and existing occupancies? Because you have just said it earlier. You have old buildings, you have new buildings, people are not following the standard, people are not following the guidelines, people are not following your local standards. That is why you need different kinds of code application and enforcement of these documentation, like checklist for the general requirements to apply in all occupancies. Like for instance, sometimes you have hospitals, sometimes you have old age homes, where there's old age people, people with pensioners, people that is in areas where it is unoccupied that have disabilities. You need to accommodate all those people, hospitals. What is in the NFPA vision and the goal worldwide is we are looking at different standards and guidelines. Now, for example, in occupational safety and health, you have two kinds of guidelines. Number one, it is the OSHA standard. You can see OSHA. It is the International Fire Code, and you have the NFPA. Now, can you see in this slide, there's one for construction called 1926. There's one for general industry called 1910. There's one for International Fire Code in Chapter 10. That is an area having jurisdiction. The NFPA 101 and Life Safety Code is the one that we are using in NFPA. Now, in the NFPA, we are talking about exit accesses. We are looking at exit. We are looking at exit discharge. We are looking at horizontal exit. We are looking at the health and the safety of the people in the building. How to get them out safely to the assembly area and to make sure nobody stays behind. That is the life safety code structure of the whole code is in 43 chapters. Can you see how comprehensive the complete package is of NFPA 101? NFPA 101 is covering every single thing related to firefighting, everything to administration, references, definitions, general, performances, base options, classification, occupational health and safety content, mean of egress, and interior finish content or finishing new and existing occupancy. How many of you guys are familiar with the Grenfell Tower that burned in the UK? I am monitoring the court cases, and you won't believe how the people that is involved, from the engineering design all the way to the interior designers, all the way to the people that bought the equipment, every single thing is now under scrutiny and under investigation, major investigation. And as the progress is going on with the whole case, you can see a lot of things is happening. Cladding was a big problem. People neglect to inform the people about the safety. Now, in life safety code, we are looking at 3 chapters. We're going to just discuss 3 chapters. We're going to look at general chapter. We're going to look at the classification, occupancy of hazard control, and mean of egress. There's so many things. Normally, the NFPA training is a 5-day training that we are going in comprehensive about the life and safety code. For example, chapter 4 is talking about general rules that need to be followed in all facilities. That means doesn't matter if it is a plant, doesn't matter if it is a hotel, doesn't matter any kind of facilities, they need to have emergency exit signs. How many times are you going to an area and you are taking your wife to dinner, and then you notice where's the emergency exit? There's no emergency exit. There's only one door in and one door out. Now, what I will do personally, I will leave and look for a place where I am safe, because I'm taking my wife out of a safe environment and put her in harm's way. Number of exits. 2 mean of egress. You need to know if there's a fire, like you are looking at a movie theater. In a movie theater, there must be 2 emergency exits. We heard so many incidents that happened. They closed the locks and they put the chain all around the emergency exit. When a fire happened, people tried to evacuate. They cannot evacuate and people die. Saudi Arabia, it happened in one of the hospitals. You guys are familiar with the incident that happened. It was in Jazan. We had a fire and everybody went down to the bottom to get out of the building. And when they reached the building with the babies, the nurses, everything, it was totally lost. Unobstructed mean of egress. How many times have you walked into a shopping center and you are taking the emergency exit for any reason? You found boxes, you found debris, you found equipment that is supposed to be in the showroom or anything like that, because people have no space. Fire alarm system, chapter 4. We all know you need to near alarm. You need to hear alarm. You need to know if there's a fire alarm going off, what must I do? We do so many emergency evacuation. People are sitting in his office typing and say, oh no, it's a false alarm. You cannot do that. We are testing to make ourselves aware of what is happening all around us. Chapter 3, marking visibility. Every emergency exit shall be clearly visible and in a route to reach every exit. Sometimes the exit is blocked. Sometimes there is a power failure. You cannot see the lights. That is why the guidelines says it must be luminous. There must be a direction for the people to get out of the building safely without any problems. Performance of base options. The authority have jurisdiction must provide the same level of protection. Doesn't matter if it's historical buildings, hospitals, hotels, doesn't matter. Everything must be under the code. Chapter 6, we are looking at classification occupancy of hazardous content. Hazardous equipment, oil, diesel, gasoline. People are putting hazardous equipment together. We as human beings at your house, you put Clorox with all the chemicals under your sink where you are having it in your house or in your garage. That's not a good idea because it is not compatible with each other. If there's a leak, it will go into each other and you will have a catastrophic explosion. You don't want that. Separation of occupancy. How many times have you heard that you need to have a firewall in the building to prevent people from getting into harm's way, getting into a situation where people can get overwhelmed by the smoke? You need to act immediately. You need to pay attention on a remodel areas and where you cut through walls where you could provide access. The standard or the guidelines in NFPA, remember, NFPA is not a standard. NFPA is a guideline to bring you into context with the OSHA and with all the other standards that is in the industry. And to identify space where they make changes of occupancy. Multiple occupancy and type of buildings. You need to look at how many people are in the building. You need to know, if there's so many people, I need to take this action. Can it separate by a fire-resistant related assembly? If there's a fire in a university, can it spread to another classroom or anything like that? That is what is very important. Assembly, but you just talk. If you have any gatherings, 50 or more persons for a deliberation or a worship or entertainment or eating or drinking, you need to look at the standard. What is the standard say about specialized amusement area, about 50 and more people? Industrial. When you are looking at the industrial area, we have so many products that is coming into the industrial area that is highly flammable. It's flammable. It is chemical. It's corrosive. Everything like that. Some of us, we want to decorate the area because we have a wedding or anything like that, but we are not considering the fire side of the wedding hall. Storage. You hear so many times of storage areas that burn. People that was driving with a forklift. A forklift is supposed to be driving very short distances, like a small snail, very short, anything. But if you walk into a storage area, people are speeding. Why? Yalla, they want time. And time is money. Time is costing money. And what accidents happen and why accidents happen is two reasons. You can take any scenario in the world. One is called timing, and the other one is called communication. And the third one is called documentation. If you do an investigation, you will see all three of those things are gone. That is why the disaster or anything happened. Merchant offices, merchandise. People are putting merchandise inside a small shop. Sometimes they are selling gas illegally. You don't know. You get a fire, then they tell you, oh no, everything is fine, it's only merchandise or anything. And when you are there, you hear sounds and everything like that. When you realize you have gas leaks and everything because people didn't inform you. Businesses. We discussed business already. Other occupancy, lodging room, hotels, apartment building, special care buildings, hospitals. For example, you know how critical it is to rescue people in a hospital if there's a fire on a floor. You need to make a decision who's going to live and who's going to die, because you cannot save everyone. But if you are proactive, you have a system in place, you can rescue people. We develop, if you are looking at NFPA section C, we develop a system, you can rescue 3 people, 3 floors, 60 seconds, faster than call 911 or whatever number. You see, we must always be in the motion of changes happening in the industry. High-rise building is coming up like mushrooms all around the world, and fire is happening in high-rise buildings. Imagine you are at a 120 storage building. You have a problem because no ladder can reach there. You need to go down the stairs, and hopefully every firefighting system is in place. Mean of egress. Guys, this is the most important part of the NFPA-101, Life Safety Code. How to get out of the building safely, quickly, and fast. Not running, because running is creating a stampede. Stampede is creating a disaster. People are getting killed. You don't want that. Door openings. How many times when you walk into an area, the door is opening in the inside, but it says it's emergency door. No, emergency doors, push button and open the door and you can go out. That is the requirement. Occupant load factors. We have load factors of floors. When the structural designer is doing the structure of the building, we need to know exactly what is the cross floor area. For every 400 square meter, you need to have a sprinkler system. 200 square meter, you must have a sprinkler system or 3 sprinkler systems. Calculation of load. I'm not going to go into detail, but here you can just see it is industrial area of the higher hazard industrial, special purpose industrial, and merchandise sales area of the floor. There is certain things that you need to calculate for occupancy. Determine the number of egress. There's also a standard. In chapter 11, it says not more than 2 means of egress. If any occupied load is 500 to 1,000, there may be 3. That means if you have more than 1,000 people, you must have 4 exits. Determining the width of the exit. You need to look at the travel distance. It mustn't be too far for the people to travel to go to the emergency exit. Futures of fire protection. How many times have you heard that the sprinkler system failed? Because the sprinkler system failed, people died. Now, building services and fire protection equipment. How do you monitor your service provider? How do you monitor your contractor if he's testing the firefighting equipment if you are not there? You cannot. That is why we develop software, we develop hardware to monitor all kinds of firefighting systems from your cell phone with cloud. You see, we are not stopping. We are still thinking about ways to protect ourselves and to protect our loved ones and our families. The interior finishing. The fire dynamics have increased so much over the years that it takes a few minutes now for the whole room to burn to the ground because of the furniture that we are using. We are looking at the integrity of the building. We are looking at the integrity of the equipment, the material and everything it is made of. What do you think about? Is business the first occupants of the building? Is a business or a tenant in a shared facility? As the facility is being remodeled, that means there's a problem. Civil defense is coming. They said, okay, you need a sprinkler system. You decide, okay, I'm only going to put in 2 sprinkler systems in a 400 area. It's more than enough. And I am happy as long as I can save money. Money is the root of all evil. People die because people want to save money. You cannot do that. That's not a good idea. The references. Now, what are we talking about? Authorities. You just earlier said you have a lot of authorities. You have all these guidance and references in your organization. In your organization, you have legal requirements to follow and agree to follow. We have a lawyer in the room. For her, it is critical to be expert witnesses in fire investigation situations or anything like that. That is not nice. I was in a lot of cases where I need to advise, where I need to give a statement, where I need to give what I see, what I heard, what I've done, every single thing. And it's not nice. Here you can see some references in healthcare authorities. You have authorities having jurisdiction, IHJ. That is the NFPA is a National Fire Protection Association. Anyone can join. It is free. If you want to look at the codes, it is free. I will give you later at the end of the presentation, I will give you the website. You can go there and you can look at all the codes. We cannot download it. Okay. We have a consensus in NFPA. We have proposals and we have voting rights. Healthcare, fire protection, flammable liquid, fire doors, just about a few of the topics. The consensus code, we have a consensus code. We have an annual NFPA conferences worldwide. We have all the codes that is fire prevention, fire extinguisher, sprinkler, standby, maintenance, flammable liquid, stationary combustible engines, lab, using chemicals. There's so many codes. The most important one, the best known recognized code is the NFPA. We review every 3 years, we review new code. We are already busy with 2023 codes and we are looking at new codes. Here you can see the adoption started from 1976 and we ended up in 2021. The life safety code, There you can see the development. We're not going to go into details. I just want to give you some statistics. In 1929, there was a Cleveland clinic that had a fire. 125 people died. In 1942, in the Coconut Grove, 492 people died. In most nightclubs, there's deaths because the emergency exit is overcrowded because people want to make money. The more people coming in, the more money you can make. You're not looking at the egress. 1957, 71 deaths in Warrington Old Age Home. 1977, a station nightclub, 100 people dead. 203, Nashville Nursing Home. Nashville Nursing Home in 2004. And you know what? When they started to implement sprinkler system, there was no one died in over 100 years. That means we as NFPA, we can be proud by bringing in the sprinkler system for houses, for dwellings, for industrial areas, special equipment, and special areas like airport and everything. And then 2021 code, the organization, we already discussed this earlier. We talk about the end of the code. Do I need to memorize all the codes? No, we are not rocket science. We are not that clever. That is why we have references. We can use the chapters of the equipment. We can look at how, explain how to comply. What do we need to comply with the minimum requirements? We can look at convention, at vertical line revisions from the prior codes. We can look at the common standards, sprinkler system, maintenance, national fire, smoke alarm, kitchen hall, healthcare standard, and generators. There is some of the codes. Now, you don't need to memorize all these codes. There's 10 fundamentals in life safety requirements. Multiple safeguards, appropriateness and safeguards, number of means of egress, unobstructed egress, awareness of egress system, lightning, occupant notification, vertical opening, system design and installation, and maintenance. Here, you can see all of them. For instance, you cannot put a Chinese in your hospital because it is not applicable. Here you can see obstructed, lightning, occupational notification. Here you can see system design and installation. Here you can see maintenance happening on the firefighting equipment. And remember, a lot of time, but I'm taking out the system because there's some issues or anything like that. And what happened? You forgot to inform someone. There's a real emergency. They think, no problem, the pump will start at the pump failed, root cause analysis, attributing factors, and it ends up in catastrophic. Just the code here you can see, and now it is open for questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Riddle.
Thank you, my pleasure.
From the audience, if you have any kind of question regarding this presentation, you just raise your hand and Mr. Riddle will answer you accordingly, inshallah. Yes, Ms. Tasmiha, please. I would like to request Mr. Arif, if anyone raise the hand, please mention the name. I can open the microphone. Yes, I can see one hand. Okay, invite. Mr. Paul. Mr. Paul, please ask the question to Mr. Riddle, please.
Hi there. Hi there. Good evening. So I've just got one question in relation. You commented on the Grenfell Tower incident that happened in London a few years ago, and the policy there instigated by LFB at the time was very much a stay put policy. Yet the NFPA code very much advocates the use of exit and egress. So I'm just interested in what your thoughts are on the stay put policy for high-rise buildings.
Yeah, that is, thank you very much, Paul, for the question. You know, I am monitoring the Grenfell Tower from the day when it happened until now. I am monitoring every single day the court cases. I am monitoring all the state witnesses, the people. And you know what is ironic? You know how many contradictions there is in the statements? The statement is changing on a daily basis. The people is really in a very bad situation. Countrywide, I think there are going to be a lot of harsh enforcement going to be applied. High-rise buildings. The bigger thing in high-rise building is you're looking at your facade, you're looking at your cladding, and you're looking at your egress. You're looking at your sprinkler system, and you are looking at your BMW, your building marshal wardens. Now, there's so many controversy about the incident. There's so many questions or anything like that. But really, from my side, the only thing I say is, and that we advise, and that is personally from my side, not as any NFPA advisor or anything like that, is if you are staying in a high-rise building, you need to keep all consideration in your mind. You need to ask questions. You need to ask for evidence. You must not assume what people are saying to you. I hope this is answering your question, because it is a very difficult question to answer, to be honest.
Okay. Another question from Mr. Kandukar Nurul Afsar.
Yes, I'm here.
Do you have any question? You just raise your hand. That's why I am asking you.
No. I just wanted to say that Architect Bashir is a renowned man. There is some, we have some foreigners here. So he has said lot of important points. At least 7 key points he has raised, which is very important. And I believe that our guest speaker, Rudolph, should understand this, what he has meant actually, and what are his suggestions. So I can also read out what are the points Architect Bashir has uttered. And I hope that our guest speaker can listen to it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. So from Mr. Faisal, যদি আমাদের বাংলাদেশে যে কেউ যদি বাংলায় কোনো কোশ্চেন করতে চান সেটারও সুবিধা রয়েছে, আমরা নির্দ্বিধায় আপনি কোশ্চেন করতে পারেন, আমরা ট্রান্সলেট করে মিস্টার রিডলসকে বলবো। যদি না থাকে তাহলে আমরা নেক্সট সেশনে চলে যাব।
আমাদের কি আর কোনো পার্টিসিপেন্টস আছে কোশ্চেনের জন্য?
আপনাকে ইয়ে করে দেন, অলরেডি 1 ঘন্টা উপরে হয়ে গেছে।
Okay, I will take over.
So then,
Yes, go ahead. Tasmia.
Yes, so we are done with the question and answer session. Now I'd like to request our Secretary General, Mr. Zakir Uddin Ahmed of Safety Awareness Foundation to conclude the meeting.
Let me take over the summary, then conclusion will come. Thank you very much, everybody, for your patience and listening. We'd like to thank Mr. Ridolf on behalf of Safety Awareness Foundation. And also we thank you for the informative session to carry out. And we also want to thank all the participants for witnessing these valuable discussions. Through this course of Life Safety Code, we learned mandatory requirements for us to practice. As we know that our country already reached on a recognized stage of economic growth, which is because of existing intellectuals and resources and current leaderships. We all must work hard, hand to hand, side by side, with the valuable resources and the skills. And we must practice and follow the best practice directive that provides proper guidance of prevention, mitigation, and preparedness for emergency response to safeguard life, property, and environment of Bangladesh, which is not only for present citizens, but also future generations too. Additionally, I'm privileged to inform that the Safety Awareness Foundation is only in the distance of your call for any type of safety assistance. So thank you very much. Mr. Zakir, please take over on.
Thank you very much, Mr. Faisal. On behalf of the Safety Awareness Foundation, I would like to express my gratitude to our honorable special guest from IAV and from Bangladesh Fire Service and Civil Defense. Our presenter, Mr. Ridolf, EC members, honorable advisors, and most importantly, all our valuable audience for their participation in this webinar. We are glad to inform you that from today, you can follow us on our website, www.safbd.org, at the same time on our Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Any interested individual eager to become a member of SAF can do so by fulfilling up the membership form available from now and become a part of our wonderful journey to create a safe Bangladesh. Please note, this webinar session has been recorded and it will be uploaded on our webpage at the same time as Facebook. All other spatial and all other social platforms for recorded purpose, we publish this and we keep the record. We look forward to see you again with more important webinars. And once again, thanking all of our valuable today's guests and listeners. Thank you once again, and please follow the guidelines provided to stay safe from COVID-19. Be safe. Thank you very much. Good night.
Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Good show.